B.
Inside Georgia Real Estate is the name of the show with Deborah Morton. She's the owner and broker of the agency Atlanta. We got a call here. She couldn't stay on the line. It's Allie from Cobb County. She's looking to sell her mother's home. Her question is, should she take a cash offer or should she refinance based on current market and future market
It's right.
info?
It is a question. I go to every listing appointment now prepared to have the conversation because in a lot of cases, cash offers are the way to go. But that is all depending on the seller's needs and their goals. So like, we don't know if her mother is still living in poor health, what the situation is. Refi on a house with a low interest rate is not very appealing because why would you give up your low interest rate to take on a higher interest? That doesn't make any sense. A cash out refi, you could do a home equity line of credit. We're seeing a lot of people, mortgage applications are actually up right now. So doing a home equity line of credit would allow her to pull some money out to live on or take care of medical expenses. That is a very valid thing to do. It could also allow them to use the money that they pull out to equip the home with like safety bars or a ramp if it has stairs, sometimes a chair to get up and down stairs.
Right.
You can equip a home for a senior so they can stay in place, which offers a lot of peace of mind to the family.
Right.
Oftentimes,
and to the senior themselves because they
Yes.
don't like changes.
and they don't want to. They don't want to go to a senior
Right.
facility or live with family. They want their independence. They just need some modifications to the house to better suit them. So tapping into equity for somebody who owns a home is a very smart thing to do. Again, I'm not trying to sell every home. I want to help people find the best solution. Now, if mom needs to go or has already passed and the family's trying to decide what to do with the home, in that case, depending on the condition, sometimes cash offers are the way to go because you don't have the time or want to put in the effort or have the money to make improvements so it will sell for top dollar. So if you're not going to get top dollar and you don't need the money, sometimes those cash offers are better. And before we all hate on investor purchases, when we do that, the investors who flip houses are taking old houses that nobody really wants, they're improving them, and now buyers have the opportunity to buy a home that is move-in ready. So there is a balance here. We can't hate on investors across the board. You know, nobody likes institutional investors buying up all the homes. We get that. But there is a need for good homes. That's why new construction is so high. It's up. Shelley and I were talking about, the low-cost townhomes going in every piece of land available because the homes that are available in that $300,000 price range, they're not super appealing. They're not in good condition. So we need a healthy mix. And I try to navigate it's a fluid place to be. But I always circle back to what is the buyer or seller's end goal? What are their needs? And how do we help them find a solution? Your agent should be solution driven and provide opportunities to talk about results. Whether it's a cash offer, whether it's selling, whether it's making improvements or selling at a lower price, every neighborhood is different. And everybody needs to understand there are still homes selling with multiple offers in a weekend. Those are the homes. If you're going to sell your home, we have to tell you what to do to make that happen for you. It can happen and it does happen. I've had several agents lose out in multiple offer situations because their buyers didn't realize it was competitive.
Right.
How do you position somebody to be competitive if all the news you're hearing is, oh, it's a buyer's market. You can get whatever you want. Go in with a lowball offer. Homes in Atlanta are not selling for 10% less than list price. 98% of list price is the average for the Atlanta marketplace. And there are pockets. I was in Milton last night. Those homes, 100, 101, 102% of list price still happens with
Meaning that means you're listing
zero
at-
seller concessions.
What that means the neighborhood is so desirable
Yes.
that you ask
Yes.
for 500 and you're getting 10-20% over 500.
Yeah, or
Is that because there's the bidding war going on for your home?
There are still bidding wars. So, and that boggles people's brains right now,
Right.
because in the news and the media, shoot, I led off today saying, "Oh, it's a
Right,
flat market."
exactly.
And overall it's a flat, but it's not like that everywhere.
Right.
So, what I like to do is help people understand. I don't make decisions for anybody, and our agents don't either.
Right.
What we do is guide people to making the best decisions for themselves. So if you're helping your mom trying to decide what to do because her home is paid for and she has equity, but her health is not what it once was, the family has to come together and make good decisions.
Right.
And all I can do is facilitate that conversation by providing accurate information.
But I would assume that cash offer is going to be less than what you can refinance.
Oh, it will be.
Right,
It will be much less.
It's good, because they have to have a cushion to be able to resell the home.
Right, but how much? If it's let's say it's a $500,000 house and the offer we can bring is $475,000, most people don't want to give up $25,000.
Right.
However, in some circumstances, if it needs a roof and it needs complete cosmetic update, like there are reasons why a cash offer is sometimes appealing for people, and it's convenience. There is nothing is free. Convenience has a cost.
Right.
And sometimes convenience is worth paying for. When you hire an agent, you're paying the agent to make your life smoother, better, easier. It is a convenience fee, part of the service that we provide.
448-720-750, 1-800-WSB Talk. The name of the show is called Inside Georgia Real Estate with Deborah Morton. She's the expert on all things Georgia real estate and all things real estate. And so give her a call to ask your question. 448-720-750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Deborah, you said something earlier about neighborhoods. Since we started the show,
I'm all about community.
You're all about
yes.
community. Then
every community deserves your attention.
Right. But you talked about certain communities now where you're getting list price and maybe higher. Can you tell us a few of those neighborhoods that are like that you're seeing, and then why those neighborhoods are special?
A lot of it is school driven, and no, I'm not gonna name. I don't. There is a place where in every neighborhood you can drive those results because there's something
so there's
good
a specific place in a neighborhood.
Well, there are results you can get by pricing correctly, positioning correctly, and making your home stand out from the competition.
Understood.
It doesn't matter what part of the metropolitan area you're in, but I'm going to say overall, schools drive a lot of the more desirable areas. So people shop still for good schools. They want their kid to be in a desirable school. But let's say you pick an area where the school ratings are maybe a 6, not, on a scale of 1 to 10, they're a 6. That might not be an area where buyers are flocking and ready to drop cash to pay the difference. We can still bring good results to somebody in that area by helping you make your home more appealing than the competition on the marketplace. We sell hard to sell homes all the time.
What's a hard to sell home? I mean, what makes it a hard to sell home?
When it's not attractive or it's overpriced.
Visually
Right. Or in poor condition.
Right.
So you can't have a poor condition or visually unappealing home. Buyers want move-in ready. It's reasonable to expect that when you buy a home, you want it to be easy. That's why new construction is so appealing to so many people, because they don't have to do anything.
Right.
You put your furniture in and you start living a great life. That's what people want. So when we have a used home, if we can make it look appealing to the buyer, we always start with who's the ideal buyer for this home. And when we frame it that way, okay, we have a 2-bedroom home in an area that is surrounded by 3 and 4 bedroom homes. That's going to be an objection that I have to overcome with presentation, pricing, and marketing. How do I do that? How do I find a buyer who wants the 2-bedroom home in a neighborhood full of 4-bedroom homes?
Right.
There's going to be something appealing, and there is a buyer for that home, and I'm going to hunt them down and find them.
Right. And the buyer for that home, I would assume, is probably going to be maybe a single guy or something like that, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, you never know. Is this 2-bedroom home one level? Is it good for somebody to downsize into?
A retiree.
Right.
That's right.
Strategically, what we do is go about figuring out who is the buyer and then use all the technology and tools we have to market to that buyer pool. And there's lots of them.
Right.
There are lots of them. And we teach our agents to do this. So agents who are listening, if you want to learn more about how we teach our agents to do that, call me. Send me a message on InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. I help agents learn how to do this as well.
448-720-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. The name of the show is Inside Georgia Real Estate with Deborah Morton. She is the broker owner of the agency Atlanta, and she knows everything about Georgia real estate. 448-720-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. We will be right back.